Today we're heading to explore, to snowball some elves, build our own Gaia's Cradle, cast our janky glimpse of natures, and just do all kinds of ridiculous things with Explore Elfball. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Ado About Nothing. And today we're trying out one of the new tribal lords from Dominaria United. We are heading to explore to play some Elfball, a version of elves that isn't just like a tribal aggro deck, but it's a tribal aggro deck that can draw an absurd number of cards and do some ridiculous things. So let's talk about this deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see it in action. So when you think about legacy elves, the best elf deck in existence, there's two cards that really drive the deck, making it this devastating Elfball combo deck. Card number one is Gaia's Cradle. Well, we got Gaia's Cradle in Explore, in Growing Rights of Itlimoc. It's Gaia's Cradle with extra steps. We gotta cast the enchantment, we need 4 creatures, but once we flip it around, it is literally an upgraded version of Gaia's Cradle, a land that taps for a mana equal to the number of creatures we control, which lets us do some ridiculous things by flooding the board with cheap creatures, making tons of mana, so we can cast cards, so we can draw more cards, so we can snowball through our deck Elfball style. So that's number one. Number two is Glimpse of Nature. Glimpse of Nature just says 1 mana sorcery that when you play a creature spell, you get to draw a card. This is the engine. You make all the mana with your Gaia's Cradle, and then you play Glimpse of Nature, so as you cast your spells, you draw more creatures, which you cast, which draw you more creatures, and you just go through your deck at lightning speed and build this massive board. Well, now in Explore, thanks to Leafcrown Visionary and also Beast Whisperer, we have multiple pseudo Glimpse of Natures. I know Leafcrown Visionary, the new lord that we're built around, you gotta pay a mana, which is a drawback, although if we have Gaia Cradle mana going with Growing Rights of Itlimoc, it doesn't really matter. We got all the mana that we need to actually spend to draw all the cards that we could want to anyway, but this gives us the card draw engine. So the idea of our deck is we just cast a ton of elves, and as we cast those elves, they draw us more elves, and we keep doing that until we build this massive board and kill our opponent. The other upside of Leafcrown Visionary is it's a lord, and this gives us 2 lords in Explore elves. Before we only had 1 Elvish Clan Caller, well now we got 2 and they're both pretty good. Elvish Clan Caller also takes advantage of the fact that if we make a ton of mana, we can tutor out more copies of them to grow our board even bigger. Then we have all of our mana elves alongside our Growing Rights of Itlimoc mana. We also just have Elvish Mystic, Llanowar Elves, just Parasentinel, Morrowind. So most of our creatures are also making mana. Plus they're cheap creatures, so they're helping us flip our Growing Rights. They're triggering our Leaf Crown to draw us even more cards. Then we have kind of just our filler elves. Warmaster, Dwinian's Leap help us go really wide, which gives us creatures to make more mana with our Gaia's Cradle. Steel Leaf Champion, just our biggest, baddest elf. Realm Walker, more card advantage, casting things off the top of our deck. Collecting Company holds everything together. 19 Forests, pretty simple mana base, not a lot of lands, but we have so many creatures that make mana, we don't really need a ton of lands. And then in the sideboard, this is the one place we're being mono green. A little bit of a bummer. It's not like we can just play a removal spell, a Doomblade or something. So we're mostly focused on protecting our elves. Shaper Sanctuary to fight through targeted removal. Heroic Intervention to fizzle sweepers. Pithing Needle can shut down planeswalkers and so forth. Rexage for artifacts and enchantments. A little bit of graveyard hate. And that is Explore Elfball. New and improved Dominaria United style. That's our Much Ado deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see what ridiculous things we can do with elves and Explore. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with the wrap up. Today's video is brought to you by our awesome sponsor, Card Kingdom. You can get all the Dominaria United cards you need and help support the show over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Much Ado About Nothing time. We are Elfballing in Explorer. Well, we'll keep this. That's a lot of lands, but hopefully we can just ramp into this Growing Rights, which would be pretty sweet. Llanowar Elves go. Oh god. Alright, so opponent's going to attempt to counter all of our things. Land. Opponent gets in, hits us. Well, play the land. Elvish Mystic. Llanowar Elves. Are we gonna counter this one? All right, we are not gonna counter this one. All right, pass the turn. Well, next turn we should be able to get down to, we're not attacking here. Should be able to get down to Growing Rights and maybe even flip it, depending on how many counters our opponent has. Rattle Chains. Yup, well, we're gonna have to go big. Gonna have to go big enough to overcome the spirits. Opponent plays a land, goes to combat, hits us. Leaving back the Rattle Chains, interesting. Down to 18. Well, play the land, Growing Rights of Itlimoc. See if we can build ourselves a Gaia's Cradle. Lofty Denial. Well, in that case, we'll play Steel Leaf Champion, pass the turn. Opponent land. And Shacklegeist. And hits us for 3. Yeah, down to 17. Well, land, growing rights at Itlamok. We'd really love to resolve one of these. Wow, okay. Growing rights down. Take a Beast Whisper. Hit our opponent for 5. The age-old battle, spirits versus elves. Just how Garfield intended. All right, hit ya, and then we're just gonna pass and flip, so we have all the mana in the world next turn, and hopefully we can go off with this Beast Whisper, Ascendant Spirit. Untaps. All right, well, we will see. Opponent's board is better than ours, but we might be able to do some snowballing here. We do have a Gaia's Cradle. An explorer of all formats. Hits us. Wow, staying aggro. Sure. We'll take 5. Opponent passes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beast Whisper. Opponent's gonna need some hard counters. Resolves. Yeah, let's just Mystic draw a card. See how far we can go. Okay, Steel Leaf. Well, make some mana. Morrowind, draw a card. Opponent's gonna counter it. Is this worth paying? Probably not. Yeah, let's decline. I think we'd rather get down the Steel Leaf. We need the big beatdown body. Just Parasentinel, draw a card. Steel Leaf Champion, draw a card. Ooh, there's a Coco too. Well, that was a pretty decent turn. Opponent's gonna level up. We're gonna hit our opponent for 5. And, all right. Oh, next turn should be pretty spectacular for a live, which hopefully we are, and our opponent scoops it up. Okay. Oh, opponent got off to the fast start, but in the end, we Elfballed them. Sadly, I don't think we actually have literally any cards to bring in this matchup. Run it back. The Elfball will continue until morale improves. That was pretty good, though. And that was just with a Beast Whisper. Imagine that with the card draw lord added in. Bearby, I don't know if you can see this, was just wandering around outside and came in with the biggest Burdox I've ever seen. Go hide your bones. He likes hiding bones, and then he finds them and brings them and leaves them under my pillow on my bed. I think it's supposed to be a gift. I don't know if he understands that for a human, an old bone that's been out in the yard for weeks or months. Not exactly the best gift, but dog life. Let's see if we can do that again. Let's see if we can snowball even harder. Because remember, that was just a single Beast Whisper. That was enough. The Gaia's Cradle helped. Being able to flip a Growing Rights and build our own Gaia's Cradle, the mana just let us overwhelm our opponent. I do wonder if we should be like splashing in another color. Should we be in like black purely just to play sideboard cards? Well, all right, we got all the mana. Literally all of it. Hopefully we find some payoffs to go with it. That's a land. Well, Elvish Mystic, go. Yep, Spectral Sailor. Opponent. Land. Do we have Curious Obsession this time? Looks like. All right, Curious Obsession. Opponent gets in, draws a card. Well, we're gonna need to find a payoff. Opponent gets to draw. Oh my god, even more lands. Well, Llanowar Elves. Ugh. Llanowar Elves. Or just Parasentinel, rather. Llanowar Elves. Where's our card draw? Opponent, Spectral Sailor. At least we got some sneaky reach that our opponent might not pay attention to. That's the upside of just Parasentinel. Opponent goes to combat, gets in, hits us, draws a card. Yeah, this is looking a little awkward. So the good news is we made so much mana, our opponent's soft counters might not be very good. The bad news is all we have is mana. No card draw, which makes me sad. Ascendant Spirit for our opponent. Play the land. We can pay for Geistlight Snare, but not Lofty Denial. Lofty Denial's 4, right? This is awkward, but I think we actually just pass here. Oh, this feels so bad, but yeah. Yeah, Lofty Denial is 4. Pass the turn. Wow, opponent doesn't even level up. Interesting. Opponent goes to combat, gets in with the annoying Spectral Sailor. No blocks. I mean, we could play stuff that hose this deck if we thought we needed to, but play a land, growing rights at Itlamok. All right, we get it down. We go digging. Hopefully we find, well, we'll take a Clan Caller. Play a Clan Caller. Definitely expecting this to get countered. Yeah, but we get to play a Clan Caller. This one will not get countered. And pass the turn. Flip it. All right, we got the mana. We got the mana. We played around the Lofty Denial. Opponent needs a Lord or something because we can actually just block here. This Jaspara Sentinel is like doing serious work. Opponent goes attack. I mean, we're gonna block. If you kill it, you kill it. Opponent. Wow, just gonna bounce it. Okay, this is actually fine. So opponent gets to draw a card. The bad news for our opponent is this is a creature to start our engine if we happen to draw. If we happen to draw one of our engine pieces, opponent draws a card. Witness Protection. All right, well, we will play Realm Walker. Hopefully there's some elves on our deck. Elf. Mystic. Leaf Crown Visionary. Oh, this is gonna be sweet. Jaspara Sentinel. Draw a card. Play a land. Steel Leaf Champion. Draw a card. Go to combat, hit you. What a turn, what a turn. Hit you. Get in there with the business person. Opponent has the disruption too, but they are in serious trouble now. We got our sneaky Reacher back. We have 2 Cocos in hand. We have a Gaia's Cradle. We have a literal Gaia's Cradle. Opponent, looking at our cards. I mean, these 2 Cocos are gonna be pretty good. Ether Gust. Yeah, we'll put it on top. We don't mind drawing that again. Opponent goes to combat. Gets in. You know what? Sure, we'll take it. Well, upkeep. 1, 2, 3, 4 Coco. How do we feel about this? Get our Lord back. Draw a card. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beast Whisper. Draw a card. Make a bit of mana. Clan Caller. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Draw some cards. Morrowind? Draw some cards. Got him. Wow. Once we start snowballing, there's so much card draw now. There's so much card draw, and there's a Gaia's Cradle. Maybe this deck's good. Maybe this deck's good. We'll see how it competes with more removal heavy decks. Opponent's not especially removal heavy. They did have a bit of removal in some counter zone. We just went over the top. What's probably going to be a challenge is like Meathook Massacre decks or whatever. Those style of decks might be more challenging, but for now, that felt really good. Well, sweet. Much brew about nothing time. We are elf-balling in Explorer this week, and all right, a little bit land heavy, but we'll give it a go. Well, land and Mystic. Coco's a good one. That's a good one. All right, so is it probably? Yup. Opponent Strangle. Well, land and Elvish Mystic. Go. Opponent opts to the top. Looking for a threat, I assume. Shard of Course. All right, so maybe this is a Phoenix deck. Discards a Phoenix, definitely a Phoenix deck. Play the land. Clan Caller. Go. All right, let's see what sweepers our opponent could have. I mean, next turn we get to, just a Ledger Shredder? Okay. Play the land, Coco, see if we can hit a Lord. All right, we don't, but we hit Warmaster Steel Leaf and attack you with everything. I mean, I think we're in pretty good shape here. Was tempting to get double Warmaster, but we want something that survives Anger of the Gods. I mean, at this point, even if our opponent gets out of this, aren't they just dead? Oh, shock, up, grow, die. Is this get back arc lights on defense? Is that the stage of the game where we're at? Opponent, yeah? Scoops. All right, so much for the getting back arc lights. Well, unlicensed Hearse coming in. Go down a couple Growing Rights, can go down a Morrowind, go down a Jaspara Sentinel, and a Dwinian's Elite. Shaper Sanctuaries? Actually, maybe we just want the Heroic Interventions. A Sweeper seems like a good bet out of the sideboard. If we can like fizzle Anger of the Gods effect, that's pretty big. Opponent's on the play. One land, Wow, this hand has so much power, but no mana. Yeah, we gotta ship it. Whew, this hand has all the mana. Yeah, let's put War Master to the bottom. So we gotta hope that we can draw some cards with this Leaf Crown Visionary. Opponent opts to the top. Well, land and Llanowar Elves go. Opponent, land, Ledger Shredder. Well, play the land. Let's just Realm Walker on Elf. Land on top. The Ledger Shredder is annoying because we are going to want to double spell at some point. Strategic planning. Do they hit Arc Lights? No. And consider. All right, so they get to Ledger Shredder. So I guess we just got to play through the Ledger Shredder. Well, there's Arc Light. Doesn't get to come back this turn, though, thankfully. Draws a card. Opponent stays on D. Well, play the land. Play Leaf Crown Visionary. Llanowar Elves. Yep, you get to do some shredding. Discards an Ox. We draw a card. Pass the turn. All right, what do you got? Land. Killing the Visionary is pretty bad for us. Lava Coil. Ops. Shreds. As Ledger Shredder is just going off. To the top. And a Strangle. And the Arc Lights. All right, so new plan for game 3. We're gonna forget the heroic interventions, and we're just gonna max out Shaper Sanctuaries, I think. We still need the hearses, though. All right, go down 1 Beast Whisperer, as sad as that is. 1 more, yeah, and down the Dwenian's Elite. Try it like that. All right, Shaper Sanctuary is good punishment if our opponent's gonna try to play all targeted removal. That said, we probably do this and then get got by a sweeper, but we get to play first. It's a nice 0 lander there. All right, well, no protection. That's bad. Land and Llanowar Elves. Yeah, this seems like the kind of hand where our opponent just kills all of our stuff and we lose. Opponent, Strangle number 1. Well, land and Elvish Clan Caller. Go. Island. Passes. Llanowar Elves. Also Elvish Mystic. Hitch over 1. Opponent considers. Well, let's see if they got the Anger of the Gods. Down to 19. Kills the Clan Caller. And blue source passes. Well, play War Master. Play Clan Caller. Pass the turn. I mean, we're building a big board of elves, even through the removal, on the mulligan. Opponent opts. To the bottom. It all goes away if there's an Anger of the Gods effect. That's what we're mostly scared of here. Opponent. Chandra. All right, that's not the end of the world. That can kill our Lord. Ooh, Coco. Let's just Steel Leaf Champion. Hit our opponent, kill the Chandra. Steel Leaf Champion's nice, because it actually survives a sweeper. All right, opponent adapts. Can they get something going? Chart a course. All right, Phoenix number 1. Opt. I mean, even if our opponent gets back a Phoenix, I don't know if it does that much, does it? Manages to kill the War Master. All right, so opponent gets a Phoenix. Passes. Well, we'll collect a company. Oh! We have the least luck I have ever seen. Hit ya. Wow. We are low rolling to the max. You gotta be kidding me. Opponent, Ox of Agonis. Opponent goes attacking. Collect a company. Hit some dorks. Go attacking. Opponent blocks. Well, let's see if they got the Wrath. If they don't have the Wrath, then we overcame the low roll. Looking at the Visionary. Yeah, that's not gonna do it though, right? I don't think you can targeted removal your way out of this. Lightning Axe. Okay. Opponent passes. Visionary. Go attacking. Opponent blocks and dies. And Oh, that's how you can whiff on Coco and still win somehow. Let's look at this deck real quick. I think we had 29. I think we had 29 hits at the moment. The main deck, it's even more hitty, but we sideboarded out a couple of creatures. What are our odds? What are odds of hitting 0 there? So in the main deck, we have 32 hits, which 32 that's a good number. That's a good number. 60 card deck, 32 hits, sample size is 6, odds of hitting 2. 92% of the time, we will hit at least 2 creatures. Odds of hitting 0 creatures, 0.007. So like less than 1% of the time. I think we had 29 creatures there, which does change the math a little bit. With 29 creatures, 1.4%. So 1 out of every 100, if we round, we will just stone whiff. So yeah, that was a low roll. That was a low roll. But in the end, the power of the elves was enough to overcome much brew by nothing time. We are elf balling in Explore, and we'll keep this. Not having a 1-drop is awkward. We are on the play, and we got some decent 2s and 3s. Well, land go. The deck really does really want to open with a dork, though. Well, land and Grixis Crim A. Let's Clan Caller. Go. Oh boy, I feel a mute coming. Crim in more ways than one. Jeez. I feel like Crim's a bad influence on Grixis players everywhere with his emotes. Opponent, tap land. Well, we will play a land. Probably just a Steel Leaf champion. Start the beats. Hit you for 1. Steel Leaf's nice because it's big. Opponent, Haunted Ridge. Fable of the Mia Breaker. So we draw a land, go to combat, hit you for 6. And I think we just pass. Make our opponent do something. If they don't do anything, well, then we get our Collected Company countered, I guess. Opponent, discards. Looking for the sweepers, plays a land. Opponent's probably got to know we got Coco. Passing with 4 mana and 4 cards in hand is suspicious. Ooh, Nicole lost the Ravager. Well, in that case, I think we just Coco now and see what we hit. Oh boy, that's Lords for days. All right, that's a lot of Lords. That's a lot of Lords. Well, okay, we're just gonna try to kill them. Discard the Growing Rights. I don't think we need that anymore. When your elves are bigger than a Kobolas, Leaf Crown Visionary. Decline. Duenian's Elite. And dead. Oh, I wish they were unmuted. What emotes would our opponent possibly be saying? Okay, Shaper Sanctuary's in. Go down to Morrowind. Go down. That was a slow draw too, and we still got him. Go down to Morrowind. Go down to Duenian's Elite. Go down to Jaspera Sentinel. And maybe one Beast Whisper. Do we want Heroic Intervention? That's the other question. Okay, go down 2 Growing Rights for 2 Heroic Interventions. We can't cut too many creatures, or our Cocos get bad. We got to keep our creature count high. So we can't just like trim a bunch of whatevers, Duenian's Elites or whatever to bring in protection. Yeah, I think that's fine. 4 Shaper Sanctuaries, 2 Heroic Interventions. I'm a little worried about Mia Massacre. That's the concern of Heroic Intervention. It's good against a lot of sweepers, not good against that one in specific. I think we're gonna mulligan that. Oh no, oh boy, okay. Well, that was not anywhere near the start that we wanted. Jaspera Sentinel bottom, land bottom, oh dear. 5 cards. 5 cards, well, land Elvish Mystic. Yeah, 5's not a big number. That's not a big number of cards. Fatal Push, This might go a little worse. Opponent, tap land. Well, land and a Leaf Crown Visionary. Go. I mean, we do have a lot of ways to draw cards, which is good. So it is possible that we can dig out from a mulligan. Opponent, gonna do some more killing of our stuff and some looting. Not looking good. We didn't draw any of our protection either. Well, land and Steel Leaf Champion. Go. Well, now I think we gotta draw another land for this Coco. That's our best bet at this point. Opponent, land, untapped. Kalitas. Now Clan Caller hits you for 6. Ugh, opponent untaps. Once our stuff starts dying, things go really poorly. Like, for example, another Fatal Push. Baleful Mastery. All right, we gotta draw a land. We gotta draw it now. Well, Steel Leaf Champion. Not a land, but big-ish opponent. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Only one card in hand. It's not impossible if we hit a land that these Cocos can actually let us get back in the game. Yeah, we can't actually block here, unfortunately. If we block, they just sack the zombie, and we lose the Steel Leaf down to 14. Well, Llanowar Elves. Not the land we wanted. This is a land that ends up being a zombie token. No attacks. Opponent untaps. Land. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. I mean, I think we just got to take our beats again. Opponent gets and hits us. Still can't really block. We could double block. Wow, are they just not going to attack? Oh, wow. Okay, sure. Sacks the zombie. Anger of the Gods. Well, we will just never draw a land. That much is certain. Opponent. Pass. Oh my god, we hit a land. Okay, that's the land. That's good. That's very good. Yeah, pass the turn. No attacks. Opponent untaps. Well, it's Coco time. We need to hit a Lord. Oh my goodness, the worst Coco of all time. Okay. Well, yeah, opponent gets a zombie. We did not hit the Lord. Yeah, that was bad. That was, with 29 creatures, that's real bad. Looking at their Kalitas, plays their last card as a land, runs out the Bone Crusher. We really need some card draw. That's what we really need. These Steel Leafs are keeping us around. Even more lands. We'll play the land, and I guess we just pass the turn. Ugh. So awkward. Opponent goes to combat. Gets in. Collect a company. Leaf Crown Visionary, Realm Walker. Put it on Elf. Block with the token. Our opponent, I think, has Fatal Push. You can see them, like, thinking about trying to kill things that require Revolt. I'm expecting them to sack the zombie. Yeah, and then Fatal Push something. Oh, jeez, Path of Peril. Okay, well, Clan Caller off the top. Visionary off the top. No attacks. Okay, one turn without a top deck, please. Nicol Bolas. That is an insane top deck. Well, the top decking continues. There's the Shaper Sanctuary on turn 20 when it's not actually helpful. Land on top. Yeah, I think we're in trouble because I get to flip this Nicol Bolas and start drawing cards. Holy removal. I mean, I guess the good news is we're on a mold of 5. A mold of 5. Our opponent has cast 14 removal spells, 17 sweepers, and we're still in this game. Like, this is one as bad as a game could possibly go, and we're still really in this. Opponent flips Nicol Bolas, probably draws some cards. We are gonna need to have a good turn. Opponent trying to decide what to do with Nicol Bolas. I mean, I would probably just tick it up. Yeah, ticks up to draw. We know we got one dead land on top. We really need some non-lands. All right, well, Llanowar Elves. Draw the card. Yeah, let's Heroic Intervention. Decline. Llanowar Elves. Draw a card. Land Shaper Sanctuary. Everything at Nicol Bolas. Opponent blocks. Opponent blocks. Nicol Bolas down to 3. Well, we'll see. If they have sweeper number 3. Jesus. All right. Well, apparently playing every sweeper is pretty good. I'll run it back. That was a no. Well, that was a mold of 5. That was a mold of 5 where our opponent drew everything they could possibly want, and we drew horribly, and they just barely survived. So in some ways, that's pretty encouraging. Like, obviously, it's a bummer that we didn't win, but when we can run that poorly and still almost win, I think that's in a matchup where our opponent's playing infinite sweepers and removal, I think that's a good sign of the power of the deck. All right, starting with Shaper Sanctuary is pretty good. We saw our opponent all about that removal. Starting with Shaper Sanctuary is going to make it a lot tougher for our opponent. I thought we muted them. Apparently not. How did they become unmuted? Yeah, it's good getting them back. Can you not beat a Shaper Sanctuary? I don't think Thoughtseize is especially good against us, but let's play War Master. Pass the turn. So opponent's gonna need sweepers. Killing our stuff with targeted removal is not going to go super well for them. Play the land. Shaper Sanctuary. Clan Caller. Hit ya. Well, let's see if they got the sweepers. Of course, sweeper 1 of 40. We draw a useless land, Elvish Mystic, land go. Graveyard Trespasser. Well, let's see if we can draw a real Magic card. That's not bad. Collected Company. Steel Leaf Champion. I guess Steel Leaf Champion. Double Trouble past the turn. All right, please tell us you got to cast some targeted removal one of these days. I mean, if our opponent can keep dealing with our board without casting actual removal, I'll play a Clan Caller. Hit you for a bunch. Wow, opponent's gonna double block. Well, we will kill the Kalitas. So opponent gains back some life, gets a zombie. We kill a Kalitas. I guess that block makes sense for our opponent because they're trying really hard not to kill our stuff with targeted removal. Runs out of Bone Crusher. Well, Elvish Mystic. Hit you with the Steel Leaf. If our opponent wants to double block again, they do. Chump and kill the Clan Caller? I mean, the question is really gonna be, do they have sweepers? Do they have more sweepers? All right, there's a double block. Kill them both. Well, this makes sense if our opponent follows us up with a sweeper. Nicol Bolas, sure. So we draw nothing. Pass the turn. We're gonna hold on to the land here. We can start tutoring out more Clan Callers, which isn't bad. Still in a state where sweepers would be annoying. Thoughtseize, that's a whiff. Well, good thing we held on to the land. We got some value out of it. Opponent goes to 11. Says nice. Got him. Where's the got him emote? We need a got him emote. That might get me to use emotes. So far, our opponent is not targeted our stuff. They gotta have targeted removal in hand, right? Though they're just choosing not to cast because of the Shaper Sanctuaries. They can do this forever, though, because these Clan Callers are just gonna keep tutoring themselves out, and it's gonna make our Elvish Mystics big enough to start attacking. So I don't think our opponent can do this. Wow, just cycles, trying to hit a land. Okay, sure. Well, Clan Caller time. Thin the deck, get a Clan Caller. Untap, draw even more lands. Well, go to combat, attack you. Opponent double blocks. Hell yeah, get a Clan Caller. Please no sweeper. Opponent, did you draw the sweeper? Oh, finally! Our Shaper Sanctuary is gonna do some work. Yes, we'll draw. Oh my god, another land. Yes, we'll. Oh my goodness, that is as bad as running can be. Yeah, that is frightfully bad. Yeah, we might just lose because of that, actually. Oh god, oh god. We got no more Clan Callers left either. Opponent passes. Play the land. The problem is the more turns that go by with us doing nothing are more turns for our opponent to draw a sweeper. Yeah, that's just sad. Colligan's Command. Well, we got many lands to discard, so we will discard one of them. Opponent untaps. Kalitas. Plays a land. Nicol Bolas getting close to flipping. Velki can actually take our Elvish Mystic. Yup. So that means we can't trigger our stuff that cares about a creature. Opponent passes. Oh, we're just to the Magic Gods don't want us to win this one stage of the game, unfortunately. I mean, I think you just got to chalk this up to variance. Gets and hits us. Down to 15. Another Nicol Bolas. Legend rules themselves. We discard a land number 9. Make it 10. I mean, sometimes your 19 land deck just draws all the lands. The opponent goes to combat. Gets in. Outside of drawing Collected Company, I don't really know if there's a way we can rebuild from here. Cycle Xander's Lounge. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Makes a Goblin. Number 11. It's a Mana Dork. Well, that was sad. I don't know what other words to use for that then. I mean, that's magic. That's what you say. That's magic. Mold a 5/0 lander into literally just draw all the lands ever. much brew about nothing time. We are elfballing. Oh, this is the riskiest keep, but we're gonna keep it. 1 land, 4 mana, 5 mana dorks. The problem is if our mana dorks die, this hand is so slow if we don't draw a land. Oh, Galagreed, okay. Oh, and it's a land. All right, so play a land. Land and War Elves. Elvish Mystic. Do we want to play another one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably. Yeah, Elvish Mystic. Go. 6 mana on turn number 2. That's a lot of mana. And we got double Beast Whisper in hand, which is kind of great. Mara. Ooh, opponent's also trying to elf. Interesting. Sure. Oh my god, Growing Rights. Well, Beast Whisper. Jaspera Sentinel, draw a card. Jaspera Sentinel, draw a card. Pass the turn. I think we are a little bit more baller than our opponent. Just a smidge. About it. Coco? Coco's good. That's a good card. Do you have Gaia's Cradle? That's the real question. Elvish War Master. Grows the Morrowind. I mean, Morrowind's gonna do a bit of work for our opponent here. Duinian's Elite. Grows the Morrowind. Yep. Get some triggers. I think we're still good though, because we got the card draw. Leaf Crown Visionary. So opponent has some card draw too. Elvish Clan Caller. Yep. All right. Well, let's see. Opponent. No blocks. Down to 16. We draw a War Master. So, War Master into a land, into Growing Rights of Itlamok. To whiff. Do we just pass? We might have to just pass. Yeah, let's just pass. This is gonna be interesting. So we flip the Growing Rights, which we can use to activate the War Master. I guess the question is, do we just die here? Like, our opponent has this huge Morrowind. If we get to untap one more turn, we should draw a lot of our deck. But how many of our things do we have to trade off to not die? I mean, opponent can also War Master. They have Collected Company. It's Duinian's Elite, another Visionary. Gonna get some triggers. I mean, maybe this just kills us. We drew all the mana, but our opponent drew all the lords, and our opponent also got to play first, which I think is having a pretty big role in this game. Opponent. All right, gonna get another Clan Caller to pump their team. They don't have Trample, though. All right, grows the Morrowind. This Morrowind's going off for our opponent. And another War Master. I'm gonna pay to draw some cards. And just Jaspera Sentinel, pay to draw some cards. Yeah, opponent might just be too far ahead. The problem is we're gonna have to block, and the blocking is going to eat into our mana that we have to combo with. All right, opponent goes to combat. All right, so they attack with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures. We're at 16, so we have to block 3 things. All right, so make mana, activate War Master, go to blocks, kill you. Oh, we gotta block 4 things? That's so bad. Kill the War Master, kill the Galagreeders, kill the Visionary, and kill the Duinian's Elite. And take 12? All right. So we drop to 4. We lose a bunch of stuff. Our opponent loses a bunch of stuff. Clan Caller. Draw a card. Play the land. Collected Company. Duinian's Elite and a Visionary. But we're still just dead, right? And opponent says good game. Well, opponent won the die roll and ran pretty well. So good on them, run it back. This time we get to play first. I think that really just determines who wins this game, honestly. Like, who plays first and who has a reasonable hand. There's no interacting to this matchup. It's just purely Purely who plays first and who snowballs harder. Morrowind's interesting. I could see playing Morrowind as a one of. It's legendary, so it's pretty clunky. Well, we'll keep it. This is fine. A lot of it's going to depend on what we Coco into, I think. Opponent in the tank. Thinking very hard. All right, opponent has stopped thinking very hard, started to play Magic. Plays a land, plays an Elvish Mystic. Well, play a land or Elves, play a Clan Caller. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Forest, Elvish War Master, Elvish Mystic. Oh boy, the flood is on. Coco, Leaf Crown Visionary, Elvish Clan Caller. Go attacking. So we're the one that got to play first this game, which is pretty big. We'd like to draw an elf here. That would be helpful. Something to trigger the Visionary would be big. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? Well, so far it seems like playing first just determines a winner. I feel like we're pretty far ahead at the moment. Gala Greeters, yup. Sure. And Visionary of their own. But isn't our opponent kind of locked in the position where they're the one that just has to block a ton now? Play the land. How do we want to do this? Go to combat. This is tricky. Hey, what's up, baby? We can play the Jaspera Sentinel, draw cards. We can tutor out a Clan Caller and try to attack, but we don't get to attack very much. And we'll probably lose. Yeah, I mean, I think we Jaspera Sentinel, draw a card. War Master. Draw a card. Do we attack? We definitely get in with a Llanowar. Get in with a Llanowar, pass the turn. Opponent blocks. And... alright, just jumps. Alright, opponent, do your worst. Do your worst. Opponent, land. Llanowar Elves, draws a card. The good news is we're going to be the one with the mana this game too, I think, thanks to this growing rights. Opponent makes an elf, gets some triggers. Gala Greeter doesn't seem bad in this deck. Opponent passes. Well, growing rights of Itlamok. Grab a creature, hopefully. Realmwalker's decent. 1, 2, 3. Play the land. Realmwalker. Draw a card. On elf. Make an elf. Pass the turn. No attacks. Flip growing rights. All right, opponent. Next turn we're coming for you. Next turn we're coming for you, Gala Greeters. Sure. This is just like exactly the reverse of the last game. Last game, opponent had all the mana. We didn't have the mana. This game, we have all the mana thanks to our Gaia's Cradle. And our opponent doesn't have a Morrowind. It seems like that's what this matchup is about, since we can't really kill each other's creatures. Duenian's Elite, gonna make some more elves. And just being the person that has way more mana seems super powerful. Well, we should be able to go off a bit, I think. Make some elves. Makes a treasure, grows their dorks. Opponent, passing, well, make a bit of mana. Clan Caller. Get another one. Make an elf. Untap, draw the land, play the land. I mean, we probably just do sweet things, right? Sweet things sound sweet. Yeah, let's do sweet things. This might not be the best line, but we're gonna go for it. Beast Whisper. Decline, since we know what we're drawing anyway. Visionary. Draw some cards. The Elfball is here. Yeah, this time I think we need to draw the land. Make some mana. Clan Caller. Draw a card. Decline. Collected Company. Lord and Steel Leaf Champion. Jaspera Sentinel. Oh, yeah, we'll pay for one. Decline. War Master. Wow, what a turn. What is this, like turn 5? Decline. Llanowar Elves. Draw a card. Do some declining. make an elf. Growing Rites of Itlimoc number 2. Take a Morrowind. Go to combat. Well, we just win if we attack with everything, right? I think so. Yeah, big attack. Do your worst, opponent. Do your worst. We had our fun. Math is for the blocking elves, not the attacking elves. That was a pretty impressive example of what happens if you don't get disrupted. Like, if you don't get disrupted, golly, does this deck just go off. There's so much card draw now. So much card draw. And you got the growing rights. Yeah, opponent. Gonna do a bunch of blocking. I mean, this is exactly the reverse of the first game. Exactly. The question's gonna be, can anyone break serve? Or is this just purely like whoever plays first wins? Is there a way you can win even if you're on the draw? Oh! Okay. Opponent found a way. Opponent found a way to stay alive. Heroic Intervention's pretty huge. Still not convinced this lets our opponent win, though. I'm pretty sure we still just kill them. Their Morrowind doesn't make mana. Our Growing Rights does. The Heroic Intervention did some work. But I'm still not convinced that this leads to our opponent being able to win the game. Our board is just so big. So opponent doing everything they can, has a bit of mana left, last card, Elvish Mystic, gonna draw a card I assume. Yup. Makes a tap treasure, passes. All right, so we untap, play the land, Morrowind, draw a card. Do some declining. There's no way how many creatures do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, okay. We don't even need to do anything. We just win. We just win. Even through a Heroic Intervention. So I guess we'll just do that. We didn't even really need to play this Morrowind. We out-elfballed our opponent that game. What a hilarious matchup. This matchup's so ridiculous. Opponent, why are you salty roping in the mirror, opponent? You're trying to do essentially the same thing as we are. Why the salty rope? I think our advantage is the Growing Rights of Itlimoc. All right, decline. Make some elves. Llanowar. Decline. I don't think there's anything, I don't know. Our opponent could have a fog or something. There are like theoretically cards they could have that would be a huge blowout. So we have to play it properly. All right, opponent's last card is Collected Company. Sure. Gets 2 more lords. Do we still have enough elves to win? Well, at least we don't have to worry about... We don't have to worry about Heroic Intervention. All right, so 1,000,000 triggers. Stuff resolves. What a ridiculous matchup. Opponent, Gala Greeting, growing their stuff. Decline, get the Llanowar, grow Morrowind. Elvish War Master, get some triggers, and opponent, scoops it up. Okay, now the real challenge. Can we win on the draw? Is it possible? Do we want Heroic Intervention? Maybe Heroic Intervention is worth it. Like, that turn of free blocking is pretty powerful. What would we cut, though? We don't want to cut our engine pieces. We can go down like a Jaspera Sentinel, you know what, let's try 2 Heroic Interventions. Now that we know our opponent's playing Heroic Intervention, that makes us more likely to need Heroic Intervention, I think, to keep up with their Heroic Interventions. All right, the ultimate challenge. Can we win on the draw? I'm not feeling confident. I'm not feeling confident that either one of us can beat each other in this mirror match on the draw. I do think that Growing Rights of Itlimoc is that's our competitive advantage. This is a good hand, good enough. We'll keep. We got a Mana Dork, we got a Lord, we got the Coco. Opponent, land, and Elvish Mystic. Well, land and Llanowar Elves. We would like to hit another land or Mana Dork. Opponent, Faithless Haven, and Elvish War Master, and Elvish Mystic, sure. Well, play the land, play Realm Walker on Elf. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. War Master. And Dwinian's Elite. All right, so opponents made a big board. Play the land. How do we do this? How do we do this? We do want the growing rights. Well, play Visionary. Play Clan Caller. We don't get to draw. Pass the turn. Opponent can't pump with the War Masters yet. All right, just a land. They're still one short. It's 7. So next turn they can pump and Death Touch, but not this turn. Fires up the Faceless Haven. Huh? Really? Okay. We'll do some blocking. What am I missing? Okay, block, block, block. That is an aggressive attack. Down to 10. How do we not die? So the opponent's nowhere near pumping. Let's growing rights at Itlimoc. Get a Mystic. Play the Mystic. Stay on defense one more turn. Flip it. Oh, we should be good. We should be good. What does our opponent find? Elvish Mystic. Not as good as what we have. They do get to make some elves, though. Opponent combat. Well, Collected Company. Lord. Got another GG's. Untap. Can we attack? Can we win by attacking? 1, 2, 3, 4. Beast Whisper off the top. Decline. Get in with the Realm Walker. Opponent takes it. Pass the turn. Opponent. Another Land of War. Yep, make some more elves. I mean, they are going super wide. Let's Clan Caller. Get the last one. Untap. Play the land. War Master. Decline. Mystic. And opponent scoops it up, and apparently it is possible. To win on the draw in this mirror. I will say that, I mean, so if you're gonna build elves in Explorer, you're gonna play a lot of the same cards because the good elves are the good elves. The difference, I think, twofold that I want to say gave us an advantage, but who knows? Maybe it's just variance. But I do think the one card in specific, I mean, I would say Beast Whisper was kind of nice to draw those cards. Whether or not that actually swung the matchup, I don't know. What does swing the matchup though is we're playing elves with Gaia's Cradle. Our opponent's playing elves with Faceless Haven. Faceless Haven, it's a good card. It even got banned in Standard. However, there is no way that Faceless Haven is as powerful as having literal Gaia's Cradle in your elf deck, and we got to see that. The ability to flood the board, flip this, and then tutor out Clan Callers, and leave up Collected Companies, and leave up Heroic Interventions, or just make a ridiculous amount of mana, that's an advantage. Opponent, we saw Morrowind. We also have a Morrowind in our deck, but missing Gaia's Cradle, I think that is really the difference. I think that's the card that let us win rather than let our opponent win in this elf mirror. Gallic Reader was interesting. I wonder if Gallic Reader is worth it. When I was looking at Gallic Readers, I felt like it just wasn't impactful enough. It does a bunch of little things and it does grow, but I would rather have like engine pieces like Beast Whisper. We're trying to elf ball, not grow big Gallic Readers. Interesting though to see what someone else is doing in a very similar space with elves and Explorer. But well, in that game, we outballed them, and this was a great example of just how big elves can go. Like, thanks to our new additions, Leaf Crown Visionary, the deck can really go huge when you don't get disrupted. So sweet. Much ado about nothing time. We are going off with the Elfball. Ooh, this hand's so good. We're going off with the Elfball in Explorer, and yeah, we got the Visionary, we got the Coco, we got the Realm Walker. That's a lot of engine pieces. So let's see what our opponent's doing. Hopefully not killing all of our things. Black mana, Fatal Push. Thoughtseize. Well, thankfully we have 3 good cards in our hand. We lose one of them, but I'll play the land. I think we just play Realm Walker on Elf. If our opponent kills Realm Walker, then we can Coco off Llanowar. If they kill Llanowar, then hopefully we can get some value out of the Realm Walker. Blood. Or maybe they do neither. Blood Tithe Harvester. Leaf Crown Visionary off the top. Play the land. Llanowar Elves off the top. Pay to draw a card. And yeah, hit you with a Realm Walker. Well, we'll see. We're up against the best deck in the format. Rakdos is #1 ever since Liliana, even before Liliana. Are elves strong enough to take them down? Thanks to Leaf Crown Visionary. How about it? We're off to a fast start, that's for sure. I think Bear's trying to dig through the floor. Opponent's in kind of a tough spot, barring a sweeper of some kind. All right, Bone crushes the Visionary. Tap land. Passes. What do we do? Play the land. Do we Coco? Opponent knows about the Coco. I mean, we can't just go super wide. Although if our opponent has a sweeper, which they shouldn't in the main deck, right? Seems unlikely. All right, let's just play War Master. Play Dwinian's Elite. Make some elves. Play Elvish Mystic. So the upside of this is we know we're drawing a land next turn, and that gives us enough mana that we can pump with War Master. Karaxa gets our Coco. I mean, that is a bummer. However, I think our opponent's literally dead unless they can kill the War Master. Let's see if they see the line. And if they sack the Blood Tithe Harvester, then well, we still just smash you for a bunch. All right, gets rid of the War Master, so not immediately dead. They're still taking a lot of damage. Sacks the blood, discards a land, draws a card, plays a tap land. Well, Realm Walker off the top, also on Elf. Hit you for a bunch. Yeah, go ahead. Answer it if you can, opponent. Answer it if you can. Show us that sweeper. Not good enough, not good enough. Now we want protection. That is the name of the game. Opponent's probably gonna have sweepers after sideboarding. So cards that are good, Shaper Sanctuary, Heroic Intervention in some number. How do we fit them in? How do we fit them in? So we'll go down to Sparrow Sentinels. Step 1, we can go down to Dwinian's Elite. We can go down a Beast Whisperer, maybe the Marwyn in one Growing Rights. Does this leave us with enough Coco hits? 28 creatures, 27 hits. Ooh, that's a little sketchy, but I think it's worth it. We'd rather have weaker Cocos and be able to survive the removal than have stronger Cocos and just have all of our stuff wrathed anyway. Well, that went pretty well against the top tieriest deck in the format at the moment. Elves? Maybe elves are legit. You know what we really need that we haven't gotten yet is Shaman of the Pack. That is the last really big piece of the puzzle that does not exist in Explorer, that exists in Pioneer. Pretty good finisher. A way to finish the game without attacking and maybe finish the game right away without having to untap. All right, so opponent, I assume, gonna overload on removal of some kind to see if our protection can save us. We'd love to see a Shaper Sanctuary in our opening hand. That would be ideal. Interesting. No 1-drops at all. I mean, we're gonna keep this. We're not gonna keep it. Although no 1-drops is a little awkward. We would have much rather had Shaper Sanctuary than Heroic Intervention. Opponent, Thoughtseize. Kind of surprised they're Thoughtseizing still. Well, let's draw a 1-drop of some kind. Ooh, there it is, Shaper Sanctuary. Alrighty then. A little bit of punishment for opponent targeting our stuff. Opponent, land passes. Well, land and War Master. Go. Would you like to kill it, opponent? Now we're kind of okay with them stomping our stuff and fatal pushing our stuff because at least we get to draw a card. So we actually just come out ahead in all these exchanges. All right, opponent kills it. We draw land. Not a great draw, but it's a card. Well, land and Steel Leaf Champion. We would like to stop drawing lands. We've drawn plenty. Opponent, Fable of the Mia Breaker. Well, play the land, play the Clan Caller. Hit you for 6. And pass the turn. Opponent gonna do some looting. Wow, their hand is perfect? Interesting, what do they have? What do they have that they would choose not to? Wow, this is pretty good. We get to draw a card. And then Heroic Intervention. So we get to keep our stuff still. Opponent gets in, makes a treasure. We get a free block. Opponent passes. I'll play the land. Get in, hit you for 7. Elvish Mystic. Go. Trying to meter out our threats just in case there is a sweeper. So in theory, if they sweep, oh boy. Yeah, sure. We'll draw a card. The Shaper Sanctuary has been Amazing. Opponent, combat, are we attacking? No. Well, play a Lord. Play a Lord. Go attacking. Yeah, let's just get in with the Mystic. I guess we should have drawn a card. Opponent. Just jumps. All right. Yeah, we should have drawn a card. I was thinking we were going to play another Clan Caller, but then we would have had to tap the Mystic. So I think this is better. All right, opponent gets in. We're just going to take it. Show us the sweeper if you got it. If you got it, then you got it. Opponent, land. Last card, Chandra. Well, I mean, that is a sweeper. Hilariously, we kind of got punished for not playing. We kind of got punished for not playing the third Lord. I'll run him out. Opponent can sweep again, but it's going to cost him their Chandra. Opponent. Fatal push. Well, we get to draw a card. It's a land. Land's not the best. Opponent. Are they actually going to try to emblem Chandra? All right, kills land. Sure, we get to draw a card. Opponent passes. Well, this Coco, there's a good chance that should do it. Well, yeah. Well, that actually was a huge draw for our... Wow. Okay, just kidding. Maybe this Coco very much won't do it. These Cocos... Well, we did talk about bringing the Shaper Sanctuary, weakening our Cocos. Opponent again kills the elf. We again draw a card. Well, play Visionary. Duenian's Elite, draw a card. We just have so much card draw that our opponents had like all the removal, but we have so much card draw in the same Shaper Sanctuary is so good that really we're just like crushing Rakdos. They even had Chandra, like they had Chandra for the hard sweep, and it really doesn't matter. Maybe elves are real now, thanks to Leafground Visionary. Maybe elves are real. Opponent scoops it up. Elves looking solid, looking like a real threat thanks to the new additions. Well, that was good. Like, look at what our opponent cast. So many removal spells, 4 1-mana removal spells, plus Chandra to sweep the board, plus we whiffed Ish with our Coco. We got a single Elvish Mystic. None of it mattered. Well, sweet. So what did we learn this week about Elfball in Explore? And the deck was pretty great. We went 4-1, almost ranking up through Platinum on Magic Arena. Our one loss came to Grixis Control, which really, the matchup is kind of tough because they have so many sweepers, and sweepers are pretty good against us. But we also just drew a ton of lands and kind of flooded out and ran really poorly. The rest of our matchups, we kind of just smashed people. We took down another Elves player. We beat Spirits. We beat Rakdos, the best deck in the format that has a ton of removal. Our opponent has so many removal spells in that matchup, and it really just didn't matter because we're able to draw so many cards and keep the snowball going. So I gotta say, Elves actually felt pretty strong. Yes, sometimes you get got by a sweeper, but barring that, the deck is really powerful. It's fast, it's consistent, it makes a ton of mana, and the new addition, Leafground Visionary, is just so huge to the deck. It is exactly what this deck wants. The card advantage engine is great, joining Beast Whisper to give us so much card advantage, and then being another Lord is good too. As you saw in a lot of our wins, eventually we just draw through like half of our deck and stack up like 5 Lords, and next thing you know, our Elvish Mystics are like 6/6s, and we're just killing our opponent with these random dorky elves. So the deck felt really good. It's really powerful, not too expensive to put together, especially on Magic Arena. Like, yes, there are some rare elves in Collected Company, but it's nice that it's mono-colored, and we're built around a lot of mana dorks, so you don't gotta spend a lot of money on the mana base. So if you like drawing cards, and you like tribal decks, and you like elves, I think this is actually a pretty good option in the Explorer format. So anyway, that's Elfball. That's been our Much Brew for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Want even more ridiculous value plays? Well, make sure to check out last week's Much Brew, where we went deep with Rada Drobic in Legendary Spirit Dragons in Standard.